Yo, vanilla. We're going to kick it 2 times. This is a medical backpack. We have made this since San Diego, well before. And it is a clamshell opening backpack. This is the one that we still make. There's a few little changes, updates to it since this one. And looks like that. It's about 2 equal parts, opens, boom, boom. And it is set up for Velcro backed mesh pockets. Those are the same mesh pockets we did for the SEAL teams. And you have 2 options in your mesh pockets. You actually have 3 nowadays. You have a small and you have a large. And the large is twice the size of the small. And we now make one that is extra small, which is half the size of the small. This backpack comes with 2 large and 4 small mesh pockets. These large pockets will hold 2,000 milliliter IVs. These will hold 500s, and then you can load them out however you want to. Progression from here, something we've messed with. We've never brought it to market. My friend Eli Miller would come into town every 3-4 months and show up. And he'd always come bearing gifts, and we'd go eat and hang out. It was always like Christmas when Eli would show up. And he's like, all right, you ready to build something? I'm like, what do you got? And it was always, Eli loved coming up with new stuff. And we built so much new stuff, but you never saw most of it because it was like, all right, why are we doing ABC when we already have this thing that does all of this faster and more compact? So there was tons and tons. It's probably in the old, it's got to be in the old building. I'll bet there's boxes of it, of medical items and containers. Same thing with Paul Gomez. Rest in peace, Paul, man. Paul used to, when he came to work for TAC Response, between classes, Paul would sit for hours. And Paul would fall asleep in the couch on the shop all the time. But Paul was always messing with some stuff. And his thing was minimal medical. How do I carry the least amount to do the most as covertly as possible? And it always came back to, he's like, can you build a sleeve that holds a, I don't know what it was always a needle. It was always some duct tape. There was a compressed bandage and maybe quick clot. I don't remember what else was in there. So we'd build these sleeves and shit. I'm like, Paul, you already have it more compact just by wrapping the tape around it. We can't get it any smaller than that. I'm like, it's cool. I love that you're in here. You're trying to design and we're trying to bring this product to market that we can sell. You're trying to, you know, add to my product line, but we couldn't do it better than what he already had by doing it with nothing. But Eli was always wanting to build stuff. And this is one of the things I had built. Eli had, I don't remember if it was me or Eli. And I think we were just talking, there was an old company, it's probably still around, called Steep and Cheap. And they would buy up all kinds of people's overstock and clearances and last year models. And it was always like EDC stuff and knives and tents and camping stuff and technical clothing, tons of ski shit. Man, I bought stuff and they'd run this deal of a day, but it was every hour. And it had a counter at the top. So it really spurred you to buy. I bought so much shit off of there. And I had these, Eli had this tomahawk before we ever had like cool tomahawks. I think they were Gerber tomahawks or something before. Who makes?
I think they were the Sogs.
They were the Sogs, you're right. Because everybody got them for Christmas. I bought like 24 of those things. They were the Sogs before we ever had RMJs and stuff. So this pack, the whole reason we made this bag bigger is because we wanted to carry those stupid fucking tomahawks on the side here. And this is a sleeve here. It's a sleeve and I don't remember why, but this is Velcro lined both walls in here. And I think we were taking something that had Velcro and sticking it in there, but there's no like depth limiter. It's just an open sleeve. We would put the tomahawks in here, and this was a medical backpack. It's about twice as fat as our other one, and we did it a front panel loader. So this just flops open, and we made all the cards are stacked. So you've got elastic loops on top of elastic loops. This shit's been in here for, I'll bet it's been sitting here a decade like this. There's a bunch missing that I've pulled out over the years, but they stack like this. And then the pockets, we did Velcro on top of the pockets. And I've said forever that we should, I like being able to see what's in here, but really we should run 2 strips of, and I think that our mesh pockets have too much Velcro on them. I don't think they need as much Velcro as we do. I think they're actually difficult to pull out, and they don't need to be as secure as they are. I've always thought that we should run 2 strips of Velcro and then 2 strips vertical on the back, so we can stack these things just like so, which I do already. I stack pockets like this all the time, just with the 2 inches of Velcro. But that's what these were here, and these were set up. This one's upside down here, but that's what these were. And you could have the exact same stuff in there, or different if you wanted. But most of it, if you look at most of the stuff in these bigger medical backpacks, a lot of it is just the same contents replicated. So we're gonna mess with this today and kind of reverse this. I don't know where my math on this is, but I think that this is the pattern set for the medical backpack. I just changed the sides on it. So we're going to kind of mess with this and see what comes out of this. I don't think there's any way we'll get this done on one video. But the bag we might, but not all the contents that go in it. So I'm not going to do all this shit. And we put pals everywhere. And usually, not always, but usually when I see guys with this stuff, they don't have shit loaded on the pals. This bag here was made more for confined space. The shoulder straps have 0 padding. You can pull them over armor. And then the shoulder straps stow away inside this sleeve here. You can also put a huge abdominal bandage in there. You can put burn dressings. You can put whatever you want inside that sleeve. And then these were set up right here, so you could beaner these up. And Eli had contracted, and I think they were in Syria. I don't know that was public information at the time, but they were running surgical tents, and he said that they were literally so deep in blood that they would just fucking hose themselves off when they would come out. But these bags, they had a bunch of these bags, and they were just working off the walls with these things. And that's what those were for. You can hang these off the back of your headrest or whatever, but they would snap link these up into the walls in the helicopter, as well as in the tents and stuff. So these also have a sleeve pocket here, as well as here. So you can bulk these things out as much as you want to. So we're going to basically build a fatter version of this that is almost this. I always fight with myself over, like, this was spec'd out. This is tubular webbing right here. And then the shoulder straps are removable. This is nice and low profile and definitely works. But I always fight with myself over, like, the robustness. This is type 7 and it's folded over and it's very prominent. However, it can catch on shit, right, when it's like that, whereas the tubular will lay down and typically will not. So there's always a pull between which one we're going to do. But we're not getting anything done standing here talking to this camera. So let's get started here. We cut all this material. I'm just figuring it out here. I can't remember if my allowance for where I fold this over is 1.5 inches or 2 inches, which is going to dictate what the other side with all the pals webbing is. Because your spacing for your pals on spec is 1.5 inches, right? So if I'm going to go 3 columns of pals, that's 4.5 inches. How much do I need for the fold over for the zipper? I had it in my head it's 2 inches, but I'm going to sew this on here to the other side. And it just broke thread. Weird. You know what else is weird? I need my glasses. They're not out here. They are out here? Yes. I have bought like 12 pairs of them. Thank you. that makes threading this needle a lot quicker. Or maybe not.
I'm going to get you some sports bands for the back of them.
What are those?
No.
That connect.
No, because as soon as it touches the back of his neck, it's over.
Oh, we're going to strap them on there.
Swim goggles.
Yeah, like a cable, right? I'm connected to the middle of them.
Get me a retard helmet.
I think I need to take a helmet with me when I start going out places.
You do, especially if you're going in caves and
I
shit.
smacked my head on a boulder last weekend, and I had a mark on my forehead for 2
Yeah,
days.
yeah, you do. My scalp's super thin too. I've got this thread tucked up in here. I'm trying to cut it out before it makes it worse.
Get a bump helmet and a 224.
I mean, there's kids running around the world trying to find old Protex from Bud's classes and shit.
I got my Protec helmet from
Skydiving
probably 15 when I got it.
from Cannonball School.
And I've got a rector one that goes around your ears.
You have an erection. So how many of the Beavis and Butthead episodes do you think have been removed?
From the first season, there was probably 6 that I couldn't find.
And you remember them? Or they just, you couldn't pull up episode
I
whatever?
Googled it. I was like, why is episode 4 on here, but not episode 2 and 3? And then I Googled it, and it was like, oh yeah, they had to remove them from everything.
You think that, but they're still available. You could probably buy them on.
You can't buy them anywhere.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, but after seeing what they did pass, and I was like, oh. I was like, I don't know how bad the ones they took off could be.
I should not separate this. I'm going to go ahead and separate it. Well, I can do it without separating. No, I'm going to go ahead and do it.
You guys going through Memphis to get to where you're going?
I don't know the answer to that. I would assume that we are.
Fort Smith, Arkansas, or something like that.
All right, there's 1 inch. So if I fold that over.
If you happen to go past the pyramid to get into Arkansas, there's a really good little burger and shake place right there.
We'll be going through too late. We're not leaving here till 6.
Oh, you're leaving tonight?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the way it usually goes, I'll be ready to leave at 5.
You guys won't leave till
But
8.
well, yeah, we won't pull away till 8 or so.
I think I'm going to attempt in and out.
In where? Nashville?
Yeah.
Amanda said she's 80% ready when I first talked to her this morning.
Bitch ain't 80%. She
80% of what?
80% ready in her frame of mind.
That's right. I was like, she goes, yeah, we're going out this weekend to Arkansas. And I was like, cool. When are you guys leaving? She's like, tonight. She's like, yeah, I'm pumped because I'm 80% packed. And I was like,
I always tell her, I'm like, get in the car, let's go. She's like, but I don't have, I'm like, we'll just buy it there.
Yeah. Every time I go anywhere, I have to go one thing and I always have to go.
it's only a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
On the state line between Oklahoma
Yep.
and Arkansas.
Yeah, Bear's only 30 minutes from there. we go. So what's the answer? The answer is
47.
where did I cut this piece at? 2.5, I think. And I got 1.5 here, so it is. It's an inch under. So it takes 1 inch. So 1 inch there, 1 inch there. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the allotment. So to do that, you need 1 inch extra for the fold over to make the zipper lip right here. That's the math.
It's the Leroy Jenkins of it.
That's now that I know what you're talking about. That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it called?
Well, they called it Jinkum.
And but you read the definition.
Yeah,
it's
basically
getting high
off
from sewage.
Oh, I didn't know it fucked you up. That's even worse.
Well, that was like back in the day in school. We would always say we're going to make him do a Jinkum.
Who's the fuck's we? Is that what I cut this off of? 46? Yeah. What is that?
46.
Yeah. But do I have enough to do the pals where I need it? Do I have enough to go into the seam? So we're going to lose this. We're going to go 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, and that leaves me 1 inch right there. So that's good. That'll go into the seam. We'll eat up 1/2. We'll make that back 2 inches where it goes into the fold. So we'll have plenty of get onto that. Plenty of room. Perfect. Do I look really good? I feel really good. I look good.
Really good after doing those curls.
I did 4
curls.
butterfly curls. Do you see that new machine? There's a new machine out. They had Arnold using it.
The back one?
Yeah.
It goes up and down, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but that motherfucker's going to cost some. It'd be nice to have, but it's big, right?
Huge.
So I would rather just have an Arsenal low row, an Arsenal high row, and a pull down, right? Or hammer strength, right? Have the hammer strength pull down,
Yeah.
have the hammer strength neutral, and have the hammer strength low. All 3 of them. I think I'm moving those benches out. I think I'm gonna get rid of the flat bench, decline bench, and the incline. I'll have a lot more. I can put 3 more machines in there.
Yeah.
No, just learn Chinese. Start tonight. I'll send you to wherever. I'll send you get Rosetta Stone. We'll send you to DLI, Defense Language Institute, and then we'll send you to China, and you can pretend you're trying to figure out how to do have some of the stuff built over there, and then look and see how they build all that shit.
You should give him like a Team America makeover. Send them in.
Where'd you see it, in the team room?
Yeah.
That's the first place I saw it too.
Just how fucking terrible it was.
So I'm going ahead and sewing the zipper down, and then I'm going to put my Velcro on the inside right here. So this wall, the big wall, will have Velcro on it, so we can put extra small mesh pockets or other things there, should we want to. Then we'll flip it over, and we'll put the pals on the sides, on the outside. This will not have a sleeve like the first one I showed you. You easily could do that if you wanted to. I've often thought it would be cool to put like side beaver tails almost on there. So you have the side and you can unclip it and then it flips open. So you could put bigger things or even have it flip open with a strap so you could secure other stuff in there if you wanted to. But I've not done that. I do very much like a beaver tail.
shooters shoot off of tripods?
Do long range shooters shoot off tripods? Yeah. Some of it. Why?
I say no. I always see them laying prone.
Well, because it's more stable. If they're prone, they're off of a sandbag or
Yeah.
something with media in it, like our rear squeeze bag.
Yeah.
You do that because it shifts. You inhale, exhale, pause. So you're not breathing, and then you can, grab if you need to bring it down, or release if you need to bring the crosshair up a little bit. But as you inhale, exhale, especially once you've stabilized your heartbeat, your breath, you'll actually watch your crosshairs, dance in there.
If you have the videos I see of Ken shooting, he's got just a bag, like,
because it's way more
something.
stable. Yeah. What's Ken shooting like? Is he Ken shooting a mile, like?
Yeah, it's always.
Or is it like I think he was doing a bunch of PRS stuff now, which is like run and gun shit. The stuff you see like Lucas and those guys doing. I think that's what they're doing. There's some fucking really cool. It's a pretty cool group of people. Like some of those ranges are very neat, man. That community.
Specifically made for long range shooters.
Well, they have bags that stack on bags and clip together. You've got huge bags. You've got bags for just shooting off of, because they've made them for the game.
Yeah.
And then you got bags for shooting off like the edges of block buildings up on the roof. You see bags that are horseshoes, all kinds of shit. They've got them with rubber on them so they don't slide. And I mean, you name it. Like there's companies that make nothing but those bags. Yeah, barricade bags and stuff. And you see companies also shipping them with or without the fill in them. I mean, if like we get a box, like some of the, I don't know what they're filling those big bags with. We get a box that's probably 12 by 12 by 12, maybe a little bigger. And it's just fill media. And we use a media that's black and it's flat on two sides. And that what that does is it's also poly in like an injection molded piece. It might be scrap from something else, but it can't absorb moisture. Whereas if you use natural media and stuff, it can hold moisture, it can mold. Dudes will do sand socks out of rice and shit, and you'll come back and like mice have eaten them. But we never see that with any of our stuff because it's the plastic. And then because like you'll see guys say airsoft BBs, you'll see guys say all kinds of shit. But airsoft BBs, they shift really fast because they're completely round. Whereas these, they're flat on two sides, so the shift is much slower. But they're very heavy, like really fucking heavy. Like when we order them, we order like 10 cases at a time, but I want to say they're like 25, 35 pounds per case of those things. I don't know what Scully currently uses, but like I know when we went to one of the sniper competitions, he had forgotten his, so he took his sock off and just filled it with like gravel and dirt and sand and shit, and that's what he was using. We did 8 miles that day, and he did that barefooted or without a sock in his boot. He had fucking big old blisters that night.
Does that, if you were to put those mini pouches on there, does that just pretty much make it rigid all the way around?
Just like the Velcro. Just the Velcro makes it hold its shape. Yeah. Yeah, it sure does. And anytime, like guys spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to do shit and asking how to do it and then getting 20 different answers on how to do it. And then they don't do anything with it, a lot of them. But out of necessity, there was no internet. So we just sewed whatever. Like we would take Velcro and sew it. And when you pulled Velcro off, like if I needed this panel to be more rigid, I would take Velcro and sew Velcro on it. And if it wasn't rigid enough, I would put hook Velcro inside it and sew it between two pieces. And then it made it really stiff. And it was something, it was always the fight of, will this sewing machine sew through this? And can I get it as stiff as I need it to be, and can I sew through it? And I wasn't using like even these machines. I was using I think it was a Mitsubishi 130E. Is it Mitsubishi? I think it was Mitsubishi 130E or 130 GM. And that was a much lighter weight machine. So it was always a constant fight of have it in as rigid and stiff as I wanted versus can we even put it together.
Did you end up knocking a lot of those out of time?
All the time, man. I was fucking constantly, and I didn't have like a sewing machine, dude. Like, you'd look in the yellow pages and talk to sewing companies, and you take your machine in there, and it's all old women and home sewing machines, and then there might be one machine, and they're like, leave it, our guy will fix this, and they never fucking, they would give it back to you. But when you sewed on it, it wasn't doing what you needed it to do.
Do you remember the first like big machine you bought?
No, I had 2 of those, and then finally probably like a Consew, or no, probably that Nakajima right there. Well, this is like 46 inches long, so yeah, I could only tell when I got it zipped, but. And it shouldn't be any big deal, right? I'll just start it from this hand, from the left-hand side, except I'm right-handed, so it throws me off. And I go to put my finger on, and then it pulls it out because it's short on this side. Come on, you little motherfucker. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Imagine that. So, right there. And I'm off. I had a little more stretch on the other side. And the reason is because it's skinnier, right? There's less material there, so it's stretched up a little. All right, so we'll take that. Next move is we are going to put Velcro on here. And are we going to put 2-inch Velcro, 4-inch Velcro, or 5-inch Velcro? You will find a lot of places you won't find 4-inch Velcro. You will find 6-inch a lot of places, which is too much for this, and it's a pain in the ass to cut Velcro long ways. So I could go two pieces of 2-inch, or I could just center 3-inch here. Really what we're going to do is we're going to grab the roll, hold it up, and see what looks like it makes sense. But right now, we're going to go eat lunch. It is settled. We will put 4-inch Velcro in here, and since I don't have that out here, we're going to put 2-inch. To make 4-inch, we're going to put 2 pieces of 2-inch Velcro in here. Now, when you sew this on here, this piece is 46 inches here. I wonder if it still is 46 inches. That's a good question. 36. Yeah, see, it shrunk half an inch. It's half inch shy. So you can cut your Velcro at that. I would get it a couple extra inches there so that if you have it shrink up some, which will be dependent on how you hold the material when you're sewing it and how you hold the Velcro and tension of your machine and everything. So we'll just do that. We'll put this on, and this will be the inside big wall, the fatter wall off the back. And then the front wall, when you unzip it, won't have, it'll basically be like a panel loader. It'll be pretty flat, not really a clamshell. But we'll go ahead and put these on, and then we'll get some Pals webbing. The guts inside, we're going to do in orange. I've got a roll of orange Cordura over here. But we're going to cover the majority of it in black anyways, in black Velcro, so I don't know that you'll even see any of that orange on the inside. I'm going to start right here, lock that in, and then I'm just going to sew right along this zipper here. Being cognizant of where those zipper pulls are, your sewing machine, I don't know about yours, but most of all the ones we have, will sew straight through these zipper pulls. And usually the machine will still sew. You'll feel the needle and you're like, oh, it's a little flat on the tip. It'll still sew, but it also has the potential to knock your machine out of time. So be cognizant of that. So you're going to the island of Philadelphia this weekend?
The Isle of Philly. Riddled with crime, but you can't carry your gun.
Can you not have a gun? You're not supposed to carry a gun?
Not unless you have a Philadelphia carry license.
You don't have reciprocity?
I don't think so.
I don't know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not taking a gun? Will you be with people that have guns there? Isn't it tattoo guys you're going there for?
Yeah, but it's one girl.
They're all
and-
criminals. They all have guns.
Probably.
But you got tattoos, clearly. I mean, clearly, look at you.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's gonna have a gun. With an armed
Tattoos on your face, multiple felonies.
I'll have to go mall cop tactical with some like mace and
Oh.
a knife.
Get one of those like those little things you used to signal traffic with, or in the movie theater when they had the ushers, you know. Get one of those ones you swing like this. They used to sell them at the circus, and they'd be like cop lights, red, blue. I have a really loud whistle you can take.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I'll need. Rape whistle and mace. That's about the only thing I can get.
I'm going to space this out a little and just have a little aisle down there. So it's more towards the back should we want to put stuff that far. That leaves us plenty to sew into the seam. When we moved here, we came through Arkansas to get here, and we had gone a long fucking ways without seeing a Starbucks. And the first Starbucks we saw was like right getting into Little Rock. Now that was 20 some years ago, so I would assume that that area is probably way more grown up now. Isn't Little Rock kind of ghetto? Isn't it kind of like high crime and shit?
Yeah. A lot of places around there are.
There's a lot of abandoned building stuff in Arkansas.
I just got married in Arkansas.
You did?
Mhm.
Got married in Arkansas?
I was close to it. There's like a church, like an old Catholic church out in the middle of the woods, and it's like abandoned looking, but it's really
Start over. What was the very first? Say that sentence again.
I almost got married.
Almost got married. Got it.
That was our first.
I thought you said I just got married in Arkansas. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We should just change the title of these videos to Two Dudes Talking. With some background noise. See, yeah. Even though those, I didn't cut them the same. I just put one up to the other. I was going to say it's stretched different.
Pull that whole piece even tighter.
It probably did. Yeah, it probably did a little bit. I'm at 36 right here. No, I'm yeah, it's actually longer. So, because there's the half, but I got about little quarter past it.
Do you think that's just from tension?
Yeah, I was pulling on it when I was sewing it. Stretch it back into place a little. Make it a little stiffer too. Brand new scissors, and those motherfuckers do not want to cut that Velcro. I want to put multicam black on this thing. Can we do that? All right. Here is some Pals webbing. We fabricate this inside. You can do it yourself. Just cut strips of 2-inch Cordura. Fold 1/2 inch in this way, 1/2 inch in this way, and then put edge tape on the sides of it, and then sew it down the middle. Or I'll sell it to you. Just kidding, I won't. I don't know, maybe we will. People hit me up. I forget I say shit like that, and people are like, hey, can I buy some of that multicam black webbing? I'm like, no. Well, you said on a video, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
You should do it and roll it up and sell it.
Well, we sew it continuous also, because we make dog leashes out of this. We, I don't remember what the stitch is called, but we actually take 2-inch and we sew it 90 degrees, and then we flip it back, and it gives it a nice 45. And then we sew that through, so it's a long continuous piece, and we do like 50, 60 feet of it. And then we put it through the machine, through the binder machine, and it applies the edge tape. And I use that for making long dog leashes, because each 6-foot dog leash has like 14 feet of that shit on there, because we fold it over in half, and then we sew it with a piece of 17337 1-inch inside it. We need something to make the handle out of too. I'm trying not to walk back into the other building. I'm just trying to remember how I built all of this. And because the handle will run down the sides, and then we'll apply the pals over it. You don't have to put the handle down the sides. There's really no reason to. So what is the width of this pack? I think it's 11 inches. It is 11 inches. So if we simply find the center. Did you ever turn my mic back on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be rad if you used higher end cameras that just turned the mic on when you turn the camera on.
That'd be nice.
Instead of those no-name cameras you use. Is that
really good about it is that you don't even realize I turn your camera on.
Is that your Temu camera?
Mm-hmm. Probably the same one.
You know what'd be cool? When if I go to the bathroom, if I didn't have to wipe my own ass, that'd be cool too.
You should get a water hose and just.
I could just get a toilet boy, or what would they even call that guy?
I don't know.
Or her, 5.5. So
They had that at palaces and stuff.
they called them piss boys. Oh, piss boy. They had a spit boy too. He didn't live very long. He turned the spit, like stood in the fireplace where they cooked, and he got slowly cooked. All right, so from here down, so we have from here to here to work with. If we're going to put any kind of hydro tube, any grommet in there, or if we're going to cut an X or anything in there, that would go centered. Or if you don't want to do that when you're sewing your back on, you could simply, off of center here, there's center, you could come out a couple inches here, and you could fold this in and then roll this out like that, so that when you sew the back on, you tack it really well here and put it all on, and then you have this slot right here, and you would do the same on the back piece also. So it's nice and clean, and that gives you a place to pass cables or, you know, camelback tube, anything you wanted to pass through there. They make little like silicone pieces, grommets that have X sliced in them, and you can sew through those. You can sew those on. I've never used them, but there's a lot of options for that shit. Okay. Handle, yeah. We're gonna put the handle on just from here to here. So I usually like my handle to go about 5 inches. So if I've got 2.5, that still gives me a good footprint to put the handle. So we're not going to pass it into the sides. We'll go ahead and just start running from the edge down. We will start our pals 1 inch off. That'll give us plenty if we lose some in the seam. So we'll start our pals line right here. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But how much of this rolls down? Because it does like, it does go down underneath like we did that fanny pack. It fully, the zipper goes to the underneath the bottom there. So
a couple inches underneath.
I don't know if we're going to get 7 or if we're going to get 6 on here. I think this one has 7 because we ran it all the way to the top. That's why it's higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's just start here and we'll run down and then we'll mirror it on the other side and see what it looks like. Now, when I cut this Pals webbing, I'm going to build this bag. I want it to be multicam black and woodland because I like the way that looks. I'm going to pull Pals that has, I'm going to cut pieces of this webbing here that has good pattern content because that's what I want on this bag here. So I'm going to mark it and cut it on this hot cutter here. We do have a power cord somewhere here. Here we go. Now, I need 4.5, and I need a 1/2 inch for seam, which I've got here. There's 1/2 inch. There's 4.5. So I'm going to sew my Pals probably into the edge of this zipper. I know a lot of guys, I don't like to do that, but I look at a lot of bags and I have it and I've never seen it be a problem where it degrades the zipper. Where it does become a problem is if you ever have to replace that zipper on a warranty or something. But we've never seen a zipper fail. Like we've not ever had one come in where it was a problem. So I'm going to run these from there. That's 5. I'm going to give myself 6 inches on these so that I can just trim them or move them. On the edge here, I'm going to fold that the edge of this under so it's clean. We put a lot of product out where it's just raw edge, and we have not seen an issue with that either. So I think we worry about a lot of shit for years and years and years and never stop to ask why we do that. And if you cut this stuff like through a production cutter, like a hot cutter or something, and you just set it, you'll come up with a lot of it that has no pattern on it. Now that's up to you whether you use that or not. But if you're running 7 pieces of webbing, stacked on top of each other on the same panel, you could get away with running 1 or 2 in there intermittently that don't have pattern, and it won't really draw the eyes. You could also just completely discard those ones with no pattern and then use ones with little pattern and then run one really good pattern, little pattern, really good pattern, no pattern. You can get away with doing it. But for instance, like on Typhon, if we made this material out of Typhon, over half of it has no pattern whatsoever. You could also save all that shit and work it into a piece that's all black. The shades are a little off, but not enough that like nobody's ever going to say anything about it. At least not anybody that has sex with women. The guys worried about the pattern content, they pretty much have sex with themselves. So, but I mean, if that's your customer base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's all we need for that side. This one looks okay. I feel like a lot of the people that watch these videos probably don't have sex with women I make those comments a lot. Nobody ever like, haha, that was funny. Yeah, this one has less. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 out of this one. Nothing on this one until here. There's nothing. Like, I'm going to get 1 piece out of this one here. We'll just leave that one. Like, I couldn't use these on belts. Those ones that I'm talking about. Like, these are the strips we put on our EDC belts too. But some of them have so little content. Like, I wouldn't put that on a belt where a guy ordered multicam black because there's no pattern there. There we go. All right. Get you one of these if you don't have it. I went a long time without having one of these. I used to go to a place called Sport Chalet and REI, and this is a rope cutter. And those places sold climbing equipment. And in the back, you know what I don't have? I don't have any hemostats out here, do I? In the back, they sold climbing equipment. And they sold webbing, just black webbing. And I would buy, and you could buy it by the foot. So I would buy Type 4, like 17337, and I would buy it back there, and they would cut it. And forever, I never bought one of these things. It's only in the last few years that I got one. And I know guys starting out that are, doing production, and they don't have a spring-loaded cutter. They actually cut all their webbing on this thing. I can't get straight enough for a lot of stuff that we do. But this is getting sewn in the seam. Oh my God. Get a draw fan. I need to get Scott from Scott's Wall Gear to come out here and just put draw fans in for me. He's really good at it. He's in California. I'm sure he'd love to fly out here and just put our fans in for us. All you need is some heater, some dryer vent tubing, and a squirrel cage fan. They actually make a thing that sits, Amazon sells it, a little fan thing here that sits right next to this, and it goes into a filter. And Andrew says that it works pretty well. No pattern. Plus my blade is crooked on this, which really throws me off. But it burns them, it sears them nice and clean. Now we're done. Don't ever touch your finger on that. It's a good gash and it cauterizes it. You will have that wound for months. Okay. Let's run. I'm going to go 1 inch there and 1 inch here. Let's go ahead and now we're going to go this line right here gives us 4.5. We're going to come into, nope, that's the Velcro. We're going to come right into this line here. That gives us 4 3/4. So I'm going to go at 5 inches. I'm going to go 1.5 and 3. And I'm going to go 3 and 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and make my vertical lines that I'm going to stitch down to make my Pels channels.
It smells awful.
It does. Yeah, it does. I need to put a fan out here. I'm going the wrong way here. I need to go 5 and go 1.5 and 3. There we go. Is that what I have here? 5 from the edge, 1.5 and 3. There we go. Yeah, we just need to punch a hole through the wall and have that flexi dryer vent tubing. And then you can put a bell housing on there too. You can get a bell housing from the plumbing and electric shop. Unplug this before I rip that off the table. I do need a piece. Now this stuff here, you can use it as a guide, but I like to use just always consistently 1-inch web as my spacer. So we can go from the inside to the outside or vice versa. This is going to go, there's my first line, and here's my lines to space them. So I can come here and then fold all these in and tack them, or I can just make my fold with what kind of works for me and tack it, and then just cut the excess off, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run this right here. I'm going to tack this first one in here. And I suspect when I turn this over, I'm not even sewing through the zipper. I added an extra 1/2 inch in here because of that when we started laying this out, based off the other one. That other bag I made in the other building, so that bag's at least, it's beyond 10 years. It's probably close to 12, 13 years. Now, when you're going from one piece of webbing and then you're crossing whatever you're using as your gauge, and then you hit this taller stuff, it'll want to shift. So make sure you hold it in place, or you will find by the time you're down, you're not, if this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, if it should be 10 inches, you'll end up with your work area of like 10.5, 11 inches. So don't let those shift like that. Got a little fuzz here I'm gonna burn off. Now this quarter, this webbing here that we've made, we've got black on the back, and it's super stiff. I don't know how they make it stiff, but I would liken it to like starching it or double starch. You know, it's super, super stiff. I know I'd said before, now this one doesn't have good content. We're going to set that to the side. We might replace it. I know I'd said before that we only get the black in that. I think last week or so I was talking about it. Somebody actually asked me about it, and I didn't know what he was talking about. And then he reminded me about it. I know some of you guys watch just these videos because you have no interest in the other stuff, but we produce, I don't know, we're way over 7,000 videos right now. And Brandel and I film this video every week, plus probably 8 videos, 7, 8 videos, other videos. We produce, I don't know, there's probably like actual 20 hours of published content every week. Maybe not 20, but there's a lot. We've been doing this for, how long have you been around here?
7 years.
7 years. Back before you were a real boy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a real boy.
This
This
is
is
a
a,
medium boy.
how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how far I need to allow.
For the under.
Yeah, the side of this is 14.5. Is that right? 16. What size is 16? Yeah, okay, we got plenty to work with. I don't know why I'm second guessing it. 16 is right here. So as long as we don't duck under there, we're gonna need a lot more pals. And do we even put pals top to bottom, right? I guess it just gives guys options to put multiple smaller pouches. You could put a shitload of tourniquet pouches on there.
Better to have too many than none at all.
Yeah, I mean, it gets into labor though. Like, what's the labor cost? It'll look cool. Fit one more or not? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. That's what the other one has. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these were the ones. 6. And then 7. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We refused that one. We'll cut 2 more. I feel like there's heat coming off of this still, but there's no way it's hot. They heat up really fast and they cool down really fast. Oh no, that one's small there.
It's like there's a little strip of pattern and a lot of bit of yarn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there's nothing else here. Use this piece. We're gonna get only 2 out of this. Let's wait till we have this other piece heated. Even a fan would keep all that shit out of your face. A little, you can buy a little tiny fan for a couple bucks. This is taking forever. Seems like it's taking forever.
It's gonna be a long one. We've never even built a
Have we not?
pack, I think, or a general.
Really? I thought we did a medical backpack on video.
Maybe one time we did a medical backpack with Eli.
Oh no, not that far back. I thought like in a full build video, I thought we did.
No, we just did we showed Eli what he kept in it.
Yeah,
He had a red one that he built.
that was back in the garage.
Yeah.
I'm fucked up here. This is not right. My line's in the wrong place. You are not getting a malice clip through that channel.
How big do they have to be?
1.5 inches of spec to match. I mean, everything that's going to be sewn on the pouches and everything have to line up, you know. You could get the malice clip through a little smaller than 1.5 inches. So, all right, let's do this in a different color now. So from there, I got a lot of shadow here. Let's go 1.5 inches and 3 this way. And then that leaves me, That still puts me small. I did need to come over further. All right, well, we're going to sew this one a little out of spec. And it'll still function. And if I, like worst case scenario, I would just zip tie that side edge if I had to. I've only got 2 channels I've got to uncut here. On a normal day, if this was happening, if I was doing this on a weekend and this happened, I'd be like, I'm over it. Let's go ride dirt bikes. Are you getting your adventure trailer all set up?
4.
So everywhere we go.
You need a trailer.
I want one of them adventure trailers so I can carry 2 motorcycles, 2 kayaks, rooftop tent, and mountain bikes. I think that'd be rad.
That'd be insanely amazing.
And then once I put the roof rack or the bed racks on the truck, I know Victory makes them, but I know other companies do too now. They have trays, so your mountain bike sits on the side of the bed. How the bed rack will go straight or kick in a little, like the one on Cody's truck.
Yeah.
I can put on the outside, so the bed I can fill with other shit, and then put a mountain bike on each side of the truck. It's pretty, looks rad too. So how would I say it nowadays? It's vibes. Is that what I'd say? It vibes.
I'm really far off when it comes to.
I see these motherfuckers trying to use these words. We're not making that a thing. What was that? There was a movie, and this dude, he kept trying to say some word, and they're like, "We're not using that word. It's not going to become a thing." Wasn't it Cheerrock? What was the Cheerocracy movie about the cheerleaders?
Oh, I have no clue. I can't even think of words that kids use now.
Just listening to that. Listen to that dipshit exploring. I should stop saying that. Someday he's gonna roll in here and be like, "Man, why'd you say all those mean things about me?"
He's gonna like invite you somewhere cool, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, yeah."
Or he's gonna be, "Wait a minute, you're that guy. You're Poopy Pants 27."
Pencil sharpener.
It's funny you say that. I was just having this conversation in my head. I have gone yesterday and the day before to order one from Amazon, and I'll open this up and I'll be sidetracked with something. So let's go to Amazon right now and go to my orders and put in here pencil. It'll pull sharpener out of there. I bought a lot of pencil stuff. Look, this is all pencil stuff. Fisher Space Pen, rot ring, whole mechanical pencil sets. Here we go. Okay. Electric pencil sharpener AFMAT. That is not the one I want. The one I want is this one. AFMAT electric pencil sharpener robot. That's the one you want. It does some cool shit. When you put the pencil in, it sucks it down and runs it, and then it spits it back out. And it lets you choose the taper on there. So we're going to get 2 of those. Add to cart 2. Free delivery tomorrow. All right, done. There we go. Because I need one. Yeah, I need one for... yeah, but somebody will be here to get it. I need one for my workstation inside. And I need one for out here. Huh?
Do you find yourself ordering 2 of almost everything?
I usually order 6 of everything. And then I'll have a couple to hide somewhere. So,
Other thing is,
so when I misplace it, I know it's there and nobody else knew where it was.
I feel like if it's something important, you're gonna lose it or break it. So order 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just keep it in a box and drawer.
1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is for me, 4 if it's free. I don't know, there's a bunch of. I had her print, and I don't think we ever put the magnets in them. She printed out some holders that would magnet on the top of the machine that held bobbins and little screwdrivers, and I think Miranda has one on her machine in there. It's pretty good. Yeah, we were cutting webbing. Smells like cancer. Smells like failed dreams and burnt Vaseline.
Mm. I get scared when you pause for a really long time. I'm always like, don't tell me he's about to have to cut all these pals off again.
Cutting them off's pretty fast, really. Like these pals are really fast because they're so rigid. And we're not just cutting like single layer Cordura. There's Velcro behind here, so like it would come apart really quick. It would take longer to brush all the thread off than to cut it apart. Hey, look and see when the overland thing is in Brushy Mountain. Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary is a closed down haunted prison. They say it's haunted. You can go out there and rent it as a venue. You can explore it. You can take tours of it. But they're doing like a little Overland X. This will be the 2nd year. Is it in?
So, 6th annual Southeast Overland Camping Event, March 27th through 29th at Brushy Mountain.
March 27th. What's that? Next week? Weekend after?
Weekend after. And the weekend Palm Sunday, though.
What's that mean?
I have no clue.
Does that mean I got to put some charcoal on my forehead?
Let's see.
Palm Sunday. That's the weekend before Easter. Is that right?
Oh, so the weekend that's going on, the weekend after is the Banana Pudding Festival.
Man, we're going to be busy.
Yeah, I know. So you guys are lined up.
We should just stay there the whole week.
Next 3 weekends.
Huh?
So I guess I'm scheduled for the next 3 weekends.
Why? What's the other one?
Well, this weekend I'm doing on the truck service. Next
Okay.
weekend I'll be in Franklin.
Okay.
Weekend after, you guys will all probably go to that. And then the weekend after that, I'm getting Banana Pudding.
Got it. Do you want me to loan you a truck so you can
Go to get banana pudding.
So you
I can
can-
get a banana pudding in my bike.
look like a real boy at the Overland?
I'll pull up sliding sideways in the banana pudding in my latex costume.
You're gonna get fag bashed.
It's okay.
You're gonna get spoken to tersely by the little church grandma.
Probably.
Do they,
I do that anyway.
do they make sidecars for your motorcycle?
Yeah,
They do. They're costly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, now we're coming the other direction here. So me starting here is pretty well a no-go. I'm going to start here, and then we're just going to fold the excess. I'm actually going to fold it here, line it up, and then sew it. So, because I don't want that much tail underneath. So I'm still going to sew from the right side in. But let's see. That's what we're gonna do. I don't know what the hell you're gonna do, but that's what I'm doing.
I'm figuring out what Palm Sunday is for you.
Okay, banana pudding, Overland Expo.
There's got to be something the weekend after.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Medieval times after that.
Why do you want to go to medieval
I
times?
want to watch the medieval fights.
Do you want to actually go to the restaurant medieval times, or do you want to go to like Melee?
I want to go to the melee.
Or do you want to just go to like the Renaissance Fair?
I've been to too many.
Do you want to actually joust?
No. Unless they let me wear my latex outfit.
I go to the Renaissance Fair. You know, all kinds of weirdos there.
Look and see when that isn't that August?
Franklin's will be in August. But if you go to the Georgia one, it's even bigger.
The biggest Ren Fair is I want to say it's in Mississippi, and it runs for an entire month. It's a whole living village. And it runs Christmas time. It runs Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Where is brushing over?
Chattanooga? Outside Chattanooga?
No,
It's way out there.
it's up above me.
So 4 hours.
Yeah.
Tell her we're going so she can look it up. She knows what it is.
Actually, this year, the Renaissance Fair is in May.
In May.
The entire month of May.
April showers bring May flowers. I saw some travel channel talking about the Renaissance Fair and how you can go see the castle and shit. And then they were naming the castle, and people are like, "You're showing the castle in Murfreesboro. That's not the castle you're talking about. You're putting photos up from this fair, but you're saying it's this fair.
Yeah.
And this fair that you're telling people to go to closed down 8 years ago." Like, you're full of shit. Like,
Yeah.
have you even been to one of these things? Like, if you're going to be Travel Channel, stop AI in your fucking content. Oh, that side's not burnt there.
Was that one of the young people?
Yeah. And we still got to go to Concrete Land
Where's that?
outside of St. Louis.
Okay. I also need to go to the Coral Castle.
Where's that?
I think it's in Florida.
Did Amanda send you the rock garden thing in Georgia?
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check
So-
that out eventually.
So it's an hour north of Atlanta.
It's in Calhoun.
There's a Buc-ee's there.
Perfect.
Are we going to pass a Buc-ee's on the way to
You will.
through Arkansas?
No. Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking you were heading his direction. They're building one in Memphis, but it won't be open until June of next year.
They're building one in Murfreesboro too right now.
Nice.
It's supposed to be the biggest one.
Yeah.
I would like to have one here.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there's no Bucky's on the line. People are getting a lot of weird information on this one.
On what?
On this rig.
On this?
Yeah.
Come to the build, leave with all kinds of stuff to do after.
I think most people do nothing. I'm not saying most people that watch this video, but in general, I think that most of society does nothing, does very little.
I need to do that every once in a while.
What's that popping on the needle strike? Is it the Velcro on the back?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
They'll have other food at the banana pudding festival.
Sure they will. They'll have all kinds of stuff made of banana.
I don't like banana or banana pudding.
You shut the fuck up,
I
Brando.
know it's your favorite thing.
I'll bring hot dogs for you.
Sweet.
I'll bring you those little survival hot dogs in the tin.
Banana sausages?
Yeah. You pay $5 and you get to sample 30 banana puddings. And you vote.
Is that real?
Yeah. Yeah, you vote. The town's pretty cool, actually.
I think I have my summer body ready. I can eat some banana pudding.
Your summer body.
Yeah.
You just gotta take more growth. Does
Take more, you need to take it to begin with.
MK677 is pretty fucking close.
That's a treat of God.
Isn't the town there pretty cool? That little town?
Monterey.
Yeah.
And in that town there's a really nice waterfall. It's
Which one is it?
it's the one where I moved all that stuff.
Oh,
the
yeah.
location.
I haven't gone to that one yet.
Yeah.
I have to go to that one.
It's got a huge overlook, and it's at an RV park. You can pay $5 and you park in there, and then you can hike to it.
We'll do that. I think it'd be cool to go back to Wildcat Falls. You said there was a trail there.
Isn't that the nudist colony waterfall?
No, that's Pandora's Box.
What?
Is there really a place called Pandora's Box?
Pandora's Box in Crossville, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, I saw listings for that.
Yeah.
That was
It's
a
nightclub and everything inside of it.
that was
All
a
nudist
gay
colony.
that was a gay nudist colony on the way into National Bucksnort. That was a gay thing
Ours is
there.
just old people everywhere, and there's like public pools everywhere for them, and
They're naked, though, right?
yeah,
I wonder if you brought your own titties with you if they'd let you into the gay.
Probably.
RV colony.
Their website's amazing, though. It's funny because Brandon just messaged me the other day and he goes, "What's Pandora's box?"
That's exactly what you think it is.
Something like that. Yeah.
What'd you
There's a
say
huge
it was?
Sign on it.
Pandora's Resort.
Oh.
I know. One time Jeff asked me. He goes, "Is there a nudist colony called like Pandora out by your place?" I was like, "Yes." And he's
Why
like,
did he know?
Somebody told him about it, and that's the same thing that Brandon said too. He's like, "Yeah, somebody. I'm in Georgia, and somebody said, oh, you're from that place that has the nudity colony."
Where'd my spacer go? Where did
Side of the state.
how did it get all the way over here? Nope, that's not it. That's edge tape. Did I leave it sitting up there? Piece of webbing?
No, I don't. I'm looking on the floor.
Everything in here is black, so everything blends in.
It's all the same look.
Did we attach it?
I don't know. That's what I was looking. Did I sew it on it or? I don't know where it's at. I just need a piece of fucking 1-inch
There's some
webbing.
web in there.
That'll work.
Laying sideways.
Perfect. A little bigger than I need, but we'll find it when I lose this piece.
Go back to that cave.
I wouldn't do that by yourself, bud.
Yeah.
It's super easy to. I'm just going to go another 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
What you should do is get a it's called surveyor string or whatever they do when they're setting slabs and shit.
Yeah.
Just go get you some of that shit.
Just attach it to the backpack and let it on.
Yeah. And take chem lights, not mine. Get your own chem lights.
I was about to say, that's what the first time we ever went in there. That's what we did. Was just Kim lights. But my friend got a little overzealous with the Kim lights, and I couldn't figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Are we crossing the same path?
I was like, what are we talking about? There's a million of them. I don't know where to go. Z's buying one of my little bikes.
What do you have?
That little Trail 125.
I didn't know you were selling it.
He's not buying mine, but he's buying.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I was thinking that'd be good. Can Amanda touch the ground on that?
I think so. They make a shorter seat that you put on it.
Yeah.
That's like less padded. That's like lower profile. And my friend had to buy one with that because he's pretty short.
I don't know if she can touch with the Grom.
She needs like a monkey.
Like a real monkey bike? Like a
No, it's a
1960s?
Honda monkey.
I know they make it
They
again.
remake it now. And the Dax also. Honda Dax is the same thing. They're like off-road kind of knobby tire looking ones. But they're like 50 pounds lighter than mine.
Are they 125s? I bet she could ride a Rotac.
Oh yeah.
Those
are sick.
those 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
They're costly now, man.
Yeah, I see them on Marketplace now.
I wonder how different the new one is compared to the 1960s ones.
I don't both as well.
Okay. Close enough for government work. I really don't want to smoke this place all out again.
Let there be smoke.
Get yourself some hemostats or forceps or needle driver or something, clamps, and then you can do real close to the edge here and not worry about burning yourself. And not worry about having to cut your, mark your tails as long either and waste as much material. When you buy hemostats, if you look at them on Amazon, you'll see like standard is 6-inch and you'll see 8-inch and 10-inch also. And they'll have different applications for different things. So you'll find a use for all of them. They're not expensive. Buy you a pair of each of them. Trash can, bring that over here. I've been throwing all this shit on the ground all day. These rubber floor mats, like these over here, these vacuum up pretty good. And I didn't have enough of these, but I had all of these ones. And I didn't think I was going to like them, but we put them down just to have that area done. Those ones are a lot more coarse, and the thread sticks to them like Velcro. So my little 20-volt shop vac, it'll pull it up, but a real shop vac would pull it up better off of there. But I do like these a lot because my chair doesn't slide around at all with those hash marks in there like that, those raised marks. Okay, here's this. Got that, that's in the way. Now we got to pals out a face. Let's see, how did I have this? 3-inch. For some reason, when I ordered all this Velcro, they didn't have 3-inch. So I've got a fucking ton of 1-inch. We've never used any of that shit.
There's a lot of 1.5 inches.
Yeah, this is the first. I think this is the first time I've even grabbed a roll of that 1.5 inches. We've never used it, so I can fit 4-inch right here, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then these are the compression straps for the sides. I like these coming back a lot better, but when that happens, if they're full, a lot of times you won't grab, which is why we have a tri-glide here. So I probably should just run, although it would be cool just to put a loop there and then just make that compression strap removable even. We'll just build this one just like this. We know this works, and then once we have this pattern set working, then we can make the mods to it. So
What do they call that color? Sand?
yeah, well, this is what we were ordering as Coyote, not Coyote Brown, but
The hardware.
I think the hardware faded. I think this sat in a truck for a long time because although it is all the same, I don't know what that was because we didn't request a different color, but I guess that is the color we used to get probably. Now we get Coyote. We haven't seen tan in a long, long time. In a long, long day. All right. If Brando would stop distracting me here.
He looked at me like, you son of a bitch.
Okay, seam to seam on this is, well, we know what it is. It's 11. So let's go 1, 2, 3 at 12 and 2 at 14.
Good sheets right there.
Yeah, there's a few. We have a lot that had nothing on it. Like there's nothing in the middle anywhere.
It's a highway.
Hmm?
It's a highway.
That's the highway. That's the 2-lane road out there.
All the noise gets in now.
What did I say we're gonna do 12 and 14, yeah.
2 at 14 and 12.
You know what'd be cool?
What?
It'd be cool if we just drilled a hole in this table and had a cord come up through it.
Power outlet.
Drill holes in my tables to stick a Sharpie in so that I can put a spool of 550 or bungee or whatever there and not have to uncoil a bunch of it and just pull it right off the rope.
Is that 12? Yeah, 12.
But the day we put something right here, we're gonna be like, damn it, why did we do that?
We're just gonna move everything to the other building.
No shortage of plugins.
Plenty of power.
Turn this into a wood shop.
Turn this into a wood shop? You can't have a fucking wood shop inside a wood building like this.
Very good. It's the metal shop you have to worry about burning down.
What the fuck am I doing here?
I was like, do you know which pieces are which at this point?
Yeah, I got these two and this one. But I've got all this shit that has no pattern. Like the pattern doesn't land where I need it to be. Out of all these that I never did I think I was going to use all these up when I brought them out here. I just bought them out to look for some good ones. What'd she say about the Overland Expo? Did she reply to you?
She did. I don't remember what she said.
Troy said no.
She was like, in 2 weeks. And I said yes. And then Banana Pudding Festival is the week after that.
What'd she say? We should
She's
just
so
move to
excited.
East Tennessee. We should just move there.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
All right. What do I want?
I can stay in my mini garage and work out of there for a while.
I'm sure we can get a massive factory over there in your town.
Nope. You go into my mini garage.
I'm gonna.
300 square feet.
I'll stay in your mini garage and then they can have a different building.
Isn't that building I was looking at in your town? It had the 3 rail spurs.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes from
It used to be a it was a mill that made all the handles for Craftsman hammers.
Yeah, well, that's pretty fair.
And it's a huge build. It's massive. It has a boiler and shit.
It's like its own town.
Yeah, it's huge. It's on 7 acres.
You know what constitutes the difference between a water heater and a boiler?
What?
It's the amount of pressure and how hot it gets.
How fast it can kill you?
The pressure within the system and the amount of heat, how many BTUs it outputs to heat the water.
So this place is 100,000 square feet under roof.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It has
10 times this.
it has 3 rail. It has 2 spurs that come in and a track.
It goes through one of the buildings.
Yeah, that passes through the building.
Cool.
And the trains still run through there. I don't think they use that track, but the train still runs through.
Right, yeah, you'd have to divert. You just have to move the lever. It'd be cool. Then we could get a caboose.
It wasn't even
I
that
want one of those
expensive.
hand pump rail car pumps.
Until you have to do it. They actually they're making these bicycle things that you put on there and pedal, and it's got a bunch of gear reduction to them.
I've seen like a thing in, I think it's West Virginia. You do like a tour on one of them, like you rent them and cycle them out.
I've seen these trucks that have these railway axles that lower down.
Yeah. Yeah, they pull up here sometimes.
I always thought it was cool.
All right, I'm just going to use 2 pieces of this 1.5. It's not falling where I needed it to, so we'll just run this across. This is the first time I think I've ever cut any of this shit. We bought this shit COVID-ish, probably. I'll bet it costs twice as much now.
Core in the center of that roll.
Yeah, yeah, look how massive the core is.
That's legit.
Well, you're also probably getting, well, no, because the bigger the core, the bigger the loops are. Yeah, they're put up. MMI's put up is really big on their rolls.
Were they 75 on them?
I don't know on the Velcro, but like the edge tape, yeah, the edge tape comes with like 250 yards of roll or something.
Oh, wow. Super thin, though. I never would have guessed it was that much. All the new rolls of everything we get are not wound tightly.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Everything, the core falls out, the centers are falling out, the outsides are falling out, and you're pulling them out of the case. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
not close.
I've seen that. I saved you one of those fanny packs if you want it.
Yep.
You want that gay ass coyote shit brown?
Whatever you save me.
I have everything,
You do?
but I assumed you would want a coyote. But you can have whatever you want. Did we make black ones? I don't think we did black yet.
No, I didn't do black ones.
Why is Z buying one of those little motorcycles?
I don't know. I never asked him that. He just said, "How much is it?" I'm getting one.
It's pretty big for those.
Yeah, he's my size. 6'1",
Would you pick that
6'1",
over a Grom?
220.
I would pick that over a Grom. Yeah.
A million times over.
I see Groms going for $3,000 right now. I think I paid under. No, I think I paid like under 2. I want to say it was like $1,500 when I bought it. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I could be off on. I could be wrong.
So I thought one pretty quick at that price. Oh, license though.
Let's go get one.
She just read all the questions and I stopped the time.
Oh.
What?
Nothing.
What did you really do?
She she failed it the first time. She didn't want to fail it the second time. So I put my little Bluetooth skull candy earbud in and put her hair over it and put a beanie on her. And I sat out in the car and she read the questions off the computer screen. I shit you not. And I gave her every answer.
All right, that's how I'm gonna get mine.
I can do it. Yeah.
We should start doing that for like ham radio tests and shit for dudes.
And for mine, nobody was in there. I set my phone on the table and Googled every question. Oh shit! Because I was like, if they're gonna catch me, they're gonna catch me on the camera. Nobody came in. Nobody said anything. Aced it. I even missed
Yeah,
the
they
last
probably
one on
don't
purpose.
care.
You're like, oh,
We know you cheated. Nobody's ever got 100% on this test. You know what'd be cool? Be cool if we had a little rack down here that we held all this shit on.
We should start putting a whiteboard with what would be cool.
We should.
You know what would be cool?
Because
Write
we
it
could
down.
we could make this where it just fucking earth magnet onto this beam.
Even if it like.
Or man, it could just 3D
slide
print
the
that
roll.
shit.
imagine.
But I want it inboard. I don't want it sticking. We could totally put Omni wall on these. Like my intention with the Omni wall.
I meant useless there.
Oh, my intention with the Omni wall was to put it on those roller carts and build a tool cart.
Held together with baling wire and bubble gum.
Like the space shuttle. You know they carry a pistol in space?
If you shoot a gun in space, what does it do?
What's his name? Sean Ryan just had a pretend astronaut on.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No.
No, he's a physicist.
I know. That's why I call him a fake astronaut.
He's kind of a turd, too.
Yeah, he does seem like a turd.
Seems like he gets angry a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't live in the real world. He hasn't had anybody smack him.
What were we just talking about?
Guns.
The astronaut, they have a $6 million DeWalt drill that goes on their spacesuit. Their spacesuit is $7 million. Did you know the spacesuit is actually an escape pod now? Apparently the spacesuit is an escape pod and has an air supply and all kinds of weird shit to it. Cooling system in it.
Oh, a life support system?
Yeah. I wish I had a gauge out here.
Things that would be cool to have.
Like a pressure gauge?
No, like just a gauge, a piece of material that's 1.5 inches wide. Minus the width of the pencil.
An inch wide, 1.5 inches wide minus the 16th. Or whatever it actually is. You know how I figured out how much shorter to make it? I just took and drew a line and wherever
Yeah.
it landed, I took that much more off.
We need to, when we do the patterns for the ammo can liner or the ammo can carrier bag, we need to cut the 4 rectangles in it so that when we just draw the template, they have one where they just mark them so that where the Velcro goes.
Just did a template for the bottom of the new fanny packs.
For the grommets,
For the grommets.
just cut them on a laser. I don't know who's making them. I mean, I guess any machine shop could, but they make a hot block that goes on the press down spring loaded cutter that it just has that for pre-cutting for the grommets. You know, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if that massive stack of empty Omni wall boxes that bolts to this wall. It'd be cool if we knew where those were and we filled them up with all the plastic that we use on a regular basis.
Imagine.
Omni wall. We need an Omni wall sponsor. We'll do the whole wall. Be bad at, you know, it'd be cool.
The ceiling.
It'd be cool if the ceiling was Omni wall.
Maybe a wasp haven.
The wasp couldn't get through the holes. We'll just put a bug zapper in here.
Do bats eat wasps?
I don't know if they do, but wasps aren't out at night.
You know that if you take a handful of change and throw it up under a street light, the bats will come and catch it and throw it back at you?
I don't know if they throw it back at you, but they'll swoop down. Their radar will ping it.
They catch them, and as soon as they realize they can't eat it, they let go of it.
And they say bats eat their body weight in bugs every night. Who the fuck is they? I'd like you to round up all the theys and put them in a room so we can have a discussion with them.
With thems?
With the thems, with thems is. You always hear about they.
What about them?
They. All that bullshit's out the window. They were calling all the newborns babies.
Babies?
Yeah, because they get to choose their sex. You don't remember all that bullshit, man?
Yeah, I'm so far removed from.
Fucking 50 Cent's he's in some trouble. Some people mad at 50 Cent because he's like, I'm tired of all this homosexuality in all these movies. Like, why are we trying to push this? Like, they are not the majority. They are less than 1% of the population. So they have a proper representation, but that is not the commonplace. Like, they've been represented enough. They don't need to be in fucking children's movies. He said something to that effect.
The only thing that really bugs me is period pieces where
They're rewriting it, yeah.
Where they just change like things to make it correct. It's like they'll just randomly put a million different races in one period piece.
Yeah.
I'm like, they weren't even over there at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what they're doing, but at the same time, it draws me out of it a little bit.
Need more Kingdom of Heaven.
You need a little adjuster that only does pounds for you on pieces.
I really do need like a sew assistant, but I don't sew enough to have an assistant. I really do need. I've been talking about hiring 1 or 2 people and just having them come in after the shift leaves and teaching them exactly how I want them taught, and just having them do a complete different thing than what the shop is doing. This is pretty quick though. It's just repetitive. Now they're all nice and straight. They're all even. Now I'm going to go back and backfill these ones in between.
What would you have them sew to stuff that like?
Whatever I'm working on. I would start them off just sewing pull tabs and belts and just whatever. Just even doing pre-production shit so that when I do an LBV, I don't have to fab all the parts. I can just go pull the parts. And then when they run out of shit, once they've built 1,000 pistol mag pull tabs and rifle mag pull tabs and the pull tab for the lids, right? Once we've done 1,000 of those, we won't have to build them for a little bit. And then I could have them, build the next thing. How far do I have that? I have this one backwards. So the real backpack has the long straps on the face. You're right about that. Fucking Jason gave us 2 kittens, and they're fucking boys. There's like 10 cats here. They're all boys. So I made the mistake of being like, "Hey, do you want these kittens?" And she goes, "I'm not taking care of those cats." I'm like, "Perfect. Okay, cool." So I had them out front, and I'm like, "Go let the cats out." She's like, "We can't just let them outside." So she brings them in. Now there's 2 more fucking inside cats. They've been inside all week. Super cute. It climbs up my leg when I'm doing the live every night, sits right on the table next to me, like they follow me around and shit. But I went to get cat food with her. I went to Walmart with her. And that fucking cat food is like $80. $80
$2.50
for a little, for a box. Yeah, these are little cans.
The little ones.
And they're like not anything. They're not in like a generic healthy looking bag or anything. They're just like, I think it's Fanciful or Fancy Feast or some bullshit. And it was $80 for like a 6-pack worth. Looks like a soda cans of 6-pack would have looked like. Fucking crazy.
Mine's about $40 a week for our cat food for that.
And I'll bet you it's full of poison.
Probably.
Why am I doing this? I have a yeah. I came out here and got the front end cutters. And yesterday ordered on Amazon, and they have arrived. They said they're here. So the pair that's on the table,
That's not on.
the pair that's on the table will come out here because I'm not cutting heavy plastic and shit. I just use it for zipper pulls.
So the new set will go inside.
Yeah, I think I bought 2 pairs of them. But it's just a trip. Yesterday at close of business, well, close to 5, when I got on the table with Alondra, I ordered them, and they're here already.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff I've gotten from Amazon recently.
When I
You'll have it next day, and I order it at 7 at night.
Yeah, when I pull it up and when I look at it online, it says we can add this to your shipment for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of putting the males here, I am going to go ahead and instead of putting the females captive, I am going to go ahead and put the males here. So these pieces, you could do a couple things actually. You could fold this over and tab it, so you have this tab in this loop here, and then you could put a piece of repair buckle here. Or what I'm going to do, because I don't like using this pals that we fabricate to run a piece of hardware on when it's going to slide, just in case it abrades, eventually wears the stitching. So what I'm going to do is cut these shorter, sew them under, and then put this piece here, and then these will run, the males will run on these. I will make this pull tab large enough that number 1, it keeps the buckle from coming off, but number 2, it'll be wide enough that we can run 1 wrap in there and roll these up and lock them once we have them where we want them, or roll them up and not use them at all if we don't want to use them. You know, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if I had a pair of scissors everywhere in here instead of carrying these ones around. We actually do have that. I still carry that shit.
You get up and you carry that one somewhere else.
What does that sound? Is it someone calling? Yeah, I changed the setting in my phone so it actually does it asks them who they are or whatever. And yeah, it basically pre-screens it, and it has cut all my phone used to ring all day long. I still can't make outgoing calls though. It does that call failed thing, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I am going to go ahead and buy another phone that just comes up as special operations equipment. Just buy it under the company or whatever.
Then we can do call-ins
Yeah,
and podcasts.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
Well, I mean, we can put a voice over IP. I still have the 800 number, the Eat a Dick phone number.
I just know that we can Bluetooth from like an iPhone straight into the Roadcaster and it'll come through the recorder.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
So if I wanted to randomly say, hey, anybody wants to call?
On the request line.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. On the request line. We could do like the solid gold dancers. You have no idea what that is, do you?
I know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
No, it's the backup dancers, the girls for,
Or Soul Train.
I only know it because of RuPaul.
No, motherfucker. Solid Gold was a show that was on television every week.
Hold on a second.
RuPaul is a big fucking cross-dresser.
I know that, but I know it from her show. She always talked about it.
She's got a dick, dude. That's a dude.
Well, his show. Was he on Arsenio Hall for a long time?
Oh, I have no idea, man.
I think he co-hosted.
He very well could have.
Solid Gold Dancers or something else.
Yeah, Solid Gold. Look up Soul Train. You ever seen Soul Train? I think.
I've seen clips of just like.
Yeah, I think those were on like Saturday or Sunday. You jive, turkey.
I do remember seeing little clips of it though.
You're probably. How old are you?
39.
How old am I?
I don't know. 50, 49, 50.
No, dude, I'm like 55.
55.
Yeah, 54.
Huh? I thought you just turned 50 last year.
No, man, I'm like 50, fucking 55, 54. So, anyways, you wouldn't have seen. You're not old enough.
I'm pretty old.
Were you able to see titties on TV, or did you have to see titties through static on TV?
HBO and Cinemax and stuff.
But do you know about the other number, like the skin channel or whatever? If you didn't pay for it, it was waved out.
No,
But if you turned really quick, you could see it clearly if you went back and forth.
we didn't have cable till I was 12 anyway, so I was already late to the game.
Yeah, no, you're not old enough for that. You just got to see titties. You got titties for free.
My dad rented a VCR and would rent us oil wrestling.
Oil wrestling?
Yeah, it was done in a bar.
Uh-huh.
We got to pick out he would take us into this place called T&M Video, and it was all VHS you could rent, but we didn't have a player.
Uh-huh.
So he rented it, like an old Betamax.
Yeah, you used to go to before there was ever Blockbuster, you would go, and I don't know, maybe Blockbuster did it too, but you would go to the rental place, and they would rent the player and the VHS tapes.
And I always get Bebe's Kids, which was a black cartoon.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah, wasn't Bebe's Kids on TV at somewhere?
Probably. But I'd get that and then oil wrestling. And it was done in a bar. And I just remember they'd fill a little kiddie pool up with oil, and there was like these 80s women just wrestling naked.
With big hair.
Yeah.
Spandex suits.
My dad was like, yep, that's what you want.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah. I don't know if he was proud or weirded out.
Did your mom know?
Yeah. My mom wasn't around, but my stepmom kind of just didn't really care what we did.
Got it.
Ash wasn't allowed to watch oil wrestling until after 9.
Why?
He didn't want the whole family being in.
The other kids.
Yeah. Even though I was the youngest. Is that how the newer one's done?
What do you mean?
With the strips to attach like that?
If they're so if this was a black bag, this would just be black webbing all the way across.
Okay.
But if it was multicam black or cam, if we use fabricated pals, then we use this for webbing.
Gotcha.
Because when you use this webbing, when it folds back, it's not the same color, and it's also I don't want to slide this through a bunch as you would this. So that's why. And that broke right as I was going through there. I'm going to need to tack that again.
Do people actually give a damn about the strength of webbing?
I don't know that the normal customer is considering it, but they would certainly worry about it if it failed. You'd be hearing about it. If there was some SOE kid out there with as much, people love me or they hate me, and with as the Redditors out there, man, for as much as those guys seem to not like me, if there was some gear failing, everybody would know about it, right? But nobody knows about it, so we know that it's not fucking happening. And that's just a little, these things. Okay. We'll just chop those. Now, this is where your hemostats would come in, right? As short as that is. I'm not going to be able to grab that and burn that on that hot cutter, so...
You remember my old car? I used to have like a stack of 200 hemostats in the back.
I remember you saying that.
They used to be stacked in the back.
Why did you have those? From piercing?
My girlfriend's stepdad works in the military. He's a medic.
That's right. I remember
he would just give me all this old crazy stuff that they didn't use. They're all still bagged and everything.
Can I have them?
I don't know where they're at. Either my dad took them or my uncle took them. I'll have to ask my dad.
I saw on Marketplace somebody had, it looked like thousands of hemostats and tweezers and shit. And they wanted, I think it was $1 a piece. They were pretty inexpensive. We should actually buy those and then just fucking sell them on the website.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the face is going to look like. Now, we need to do the inside pieces. This is the bulk of it, though. Doing that part, the side top with the pals, and then doing this, that's 80% of the work right there. I don't know about 80, but 80 sounds good. That's 80%. If we were working with 120%, that's 80% of the 120.
Is Amanda working with 120% ready?
Yeah, did you go in and ask her?
No.
I didn't ask her. I have a lot of these floating around, and I don't ever write what it is. So I'm like, I wonder what this is. I've also just done a bunch of shit that I did not write down, so we'll reverse it when we need it.
You should do that and also take a picture of it.
Man, I just spent 2 hours the other day going through and deleting photos. Not photos, but like stuff that I have taken a picture of to remember. And I can't remember what it was, so I'm like, well, I guess we can delete it.
I just have like 5,000 screenshots of things I want.
That's what I'm talking about.
Apple now offers a 2 terabyte iPhone. so you can fill it with even more shit.
I was about to say,
If you had a lot of pictures of boobs in your phone, I don't, but if you had a lot of pictures of boobs in your phone, could the Apple AI differentiate whose boobs you're looking
I
for?
don't know.
Or
I think it just does it off faces.
whose butt is this from behind? Whose testicles are these?
Oh, Tyler would know.
Whose balls?
Tyler just knew.
Tyler did know. I know that's Curtis. How do you know it's Curtis? That's Curtis's ball sack. How the fuck do you know that? It was in fact Curtis that would take Tyler would leave his phone laying places, so all the dudes would take pictures of their junk. And Tyler always knew whose junk it
He
was.
kept all that shit.
I'll bet he still has it.
He can recognize his buddy based off of their nuts. No joke.
I saw what was the kid that worked with us?
Which one? Tree Star?
No. Your buddy.
Yoda?
Yoda. I saw Yoda at the gas station the other day.
I saw him at the gun store 3 or so months ago.
So he's working, he's the service manager, I guess.
He's at the dealership.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does.
He's a service manager.
He's always preaching about how he loves being in sales.
Well, he's not doing sales.
Although he might be selling services.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure he's selling. Do you know who we're talking about?
No.
Oh, he would.
I ever met him.
He was like our early version of Isaac.
More squared away, though.
Yeah, Yoda's super squared away.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he bought a house. He sold his house, bought one here.
Yeah, had a starter home, moved from there.
Yeah, he's driving a Suburban. You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if we had all these. If we had some racks where we could have all the rolls of material on the wall, but not like horizontal. I want them vertical. So if we had like a metal piece that came out with a peg, we could set the tube on it and then have a little clamp around the top. It just looked cool with them all just on the walls, full rolls. When can you do it? What are you waiting on?
We can do it.
Oh, now it's we. You said you could do that.
I mean, I can do it. I
By
just
we-
plan on you doing it.
By we, I mean somebody who is not me.
I plan on probably me and Cody being out here cutting our fingers off or something doing it.
No, I'm really good with tools.